Good morning. This is Sebastian McLeod, and I'm here to share my story of the 8 wastes with you. We're back here in the vacuum forming area, an area that a lot of people know pretty well and some others don't. But we have an excellent representation of all 8 wastes back here. And we're going to start off with overproduction. Overproduction is when we make too much of something that the customer hasn't ordered. As an example, our customer just called and ordered 1 of these trays. But because our vacuum former has such a big bed, we have to make 8 trays. So even though we only have 1 tray sold, our vacuum former is set up for 8 trays. So we have to bring in the material for 8 trays. We have to transport that to the back of the shop for 8 trays. We have to consume the energy to run all 8 trays. When all the customer wanted was this, we had to make this, and that is overproduction. So because we overproduced 7 extra trays, now we've created the second waste, excess inventory. Now we have to put all that excess inventory somewhere. If you look at the space in these racks, we had to buy the racks and put them in this space. This space is doing nothing but managing waste. This excess inventory has to be managed now also. It has to be labeled. We had to spend time to do that. It has to be counted routinely, and it gets cleaned at least once a week. All this because we have excess inventory. We're spending all that time and energy just to manage the stuff that we overproduced. But the next waste is even worse, and that is defects. Now, hidden in all of this excess inventory, inevitably, are defects. When we come over and grab one of these trays that I had to clean, count, and manage, I find a defect. Oh no, now what do I do? And because I'm overproduced, I don't have just 1 defect, I have lots of defects. Lots of defects. Look at all these defects here that I've overproduced. So now that I've got all these defects because I overproduced, I'm gonna have to overwork my equipment. I'm gonna have to dull more router blades, which is gonna cause Brian to have to do more repair on the equipment and Dave to order more tooling. And also, as a result, now we're gonna enter the next waste, which is over-processing. This is when we've already processed and now we have to do it again. If you're lucky, you can still save the product. But either way, you're still gonna over-process because now we have to take these back and re-trim them. Do the same process again. That is what the defect causes. The next 2 are wasted motion, wasted transportation. Now in this scenario, there's a lot of wasted motion in transportation, and this has been taking place throughout the entire process so far because we overproduced. I was wasting transportation when I took the 7 extra trays over to the inventory rack. And because of the defect, I was wasting transportation bringing the trays back to the trimming table. I was also wasting motion when I had to re-trim the already trimmed trays. I was also wasting lots of motion when I was cleaning around the excess inventory and all the counting that we were having to do. Walking over to count all the trays and clean all the extra trays, entering that data into spreadsheets or some sort of computer system, and all the while this is happening, someone is waiting. The next deadly waste. Waiting to put in a purchase order, waiting to get a table built, waiting to ship a cart. Internal customers are waiting, external customers are waiting. External customers are waiting to write us a check, all because we had to overprocess or overproduce 1 tray. Now the last waste, and undoubtedly the worst, is your genius has now been wasted because you overproduced all for one tray. We created excess inventory, defects, caused waiting time, wasting your motion and transportation. You no longer got to spend your valuable time bringing something really amazing to your life, all because of that one tray. That's the story. Have a good day.